Hey Blue Buddies, Anya here, and I'm breaking one of my rules today. Can't wait. As you can see, I am taping a piece of watercolor paper to a very shiny board, and I have got some brushes. I've got a fabulous traditional bamboo brush that I'm going to shamelessly play with. I've got a dip pen. I've got some black ink, nothing too fancy, and get that opened up, and it will obviously get everywhere. And let's get started. So, as a creator, I made a decision pretty early on in my setting up of my process and what I wanted my brand to be and how I wanted to do things. And one of those rules is I don't take commissions. I don't do commission work. I do what I do, and if you like it, I hope you like it, and if you don't, I'll see you next time around. This is not a decision everyone has the option to make as a creator, especially as a visual artist, and I am very lucky that it's something I get to hold to. But when one of your favorite people who is always volunteering and doing work with organizations that help animals and people with animals, and they ask you to make something for auction to charity, you pull out the dip pens. I wasn't really given a lot of guidelines for what kind of art they wanted to auction off at the fundraiser, but because it was animals, I decided to go with animals, and I decided to go with something that I normally don't draw very often, which in this case is a baby raven. I really liked the idea of using ink and black ink as both the background shadows and allowing the ink to feather, which is normally a bad thing, but since we're going to be drawing feathers, we might as well let the ink feather and let it do its thing for us. And using some hash marks, it was very time consuming to get this textured effect, but I think it was really worth it because it gave the effect of feathers as well as the solid black on black texture that you want when you are looking at a cute fuzzy little baby crow. Raven, this is a baby raven. Baby crow, baby raven, they're both fuzzy, they're both cute. I loved them. The advantage to using black ink instead of black paint to do this painting means that I get to go over the space with both a ink wash to fill in and darken up and get rid of the white of the paper, but using the dip pen means I get to keep the effect of the hash marks and the feather that I'm getting, which is also why I'm taking the time to make sure that the feathers and the hashes are going in the direction of baby Raven's body that I want it to really show, because I'm only using black right now. It's black and black and more black, and guiding where the black is going is really going to be important to distinguish what is going on in this painting. So yeah, and this was a fabulous opportunity to play around and learn with negative space as well as hash marking, shading in a way that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting hash marking to be so important in a wash painting, but there you are. Okay, we're gonna add some background and depth to our painting in the way of shadowy trees before moving on to the leaves in question. And I'm just going to make some more hashes to really outline where the leaves and the shadows are separated, and then we are going to switch gears and something a bit more familiar for me to work with. Looks pretty cool. I did that all with just one ink and then two ink tools, and then I'm going to let it dry completely. We don't want even a smidge of the ink to still be wet, or even thinking that it could be re-wet or anything like that. We want it completely dry and stationary, and then we will switch to gouache paint. And we are going to be using my favorite mix of yellow, orange, and just a touch of black here and there where needed. We don't want to use that ink black mixing in, but we do want to use a little bit of gouache black for some brownish texture that autumn leaves naturally get, nice and crunchy. And we're going to make these leaves pop. And of course, the reason to go with gouache paint is, well, I'm very comfortable with gouache paint. I wouldn't say I'm fabulous at gouache paint, but I am comfortable with it. Is because it has the opacity to actually cover up some of this ink that is dry and really make these leaves stand out and pop. I could have also gone with acrylic paint, or even some acrylic paint pens, which are all the rage right now. Lots of people have fun with those. And that would have also covered the ink successfully as well. But I went with gouache because I really want that organic opacity that really is best suited with the watercolor like flow of gouache with the opacity that gouache brings. And how many more times can we say opacity in this video? Ooh, I'm going to throw in just a touch of crimson red, because we need to really show that these are maple leaves. And one of the things I really appreciate about gouache paint is I can do a lot of blending on the page, and so if I just lay down some color and keep it wet and keep it moving, then I can get some really fun organic autumn leafy effects going on. And yeah, so I had a great time. Making leaves. Almost as much fun as Baby Raven has eating them. With a few final touches, Baby Raven is off to the auction to raise money. I have left the description and the link below if you would like more information about where my painting ended up, or just more information about the fundraiser and group that is raising money for the pets and the pet caretakers. I clearly thought it was a worthy enough cause to break my rule and do a commission for it. I hope you found some inspiration in your own artistic journey and struggles with tape. And I will see you in the next one, Boo Buddies.